officially announced. Jana and Steven close to divorce. Jessa's 7th baby coming soon. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. For Duggar family latest news update, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. In a shocking turn of events, the Duggar family is once again making headlines for personal reasons. The spotlight is currently focused on Jana Duggar and her marriage to Steven Wisman, as rumors swirl that they may be nearing the end of their relationship. Meanwhile, Jessa Duggar's growing family is hitting another milestone with the announcement of her 7th pregnancy, keeping the Duggar legacy alive. Here's everything you need to know about the Duggar family drama, their emotional struggles, and the news that has left fans speechless. Jana and Steven Wisman, a relationship in crisis. The Duggar family has always had its fair share of drama, but the latest developments surrounding Jana Duggar and Steven Wisman are particularly heartbreaking. Jana, who has often been in the spotlight due to her role as the oldest Duggar daughter, has faced continuous pressure from fans and media alike. For years, fans have been eagerly waiting for Jana to follow in her younger siblings' footsteps and get married. Her relationship with Steven Wisman had been a subject of speculation for quite some time. After they went public with their romance, fans were excited to see them settle down and start a family, but things have taken an unexpected turn. In recent months, there have been increasing reports about a growing distance between Jana and Steven. Close sources have revealed that Jana and Steven have been going through a rough patch in their marriage, with rumors circulating about a potential divorce. While neither Jana nor Steven has publicly addressed the situation, the signs have become hard to ignore. From the lack of public appearances together to cryptic social media posts, it seems that the couple's relationship may be on the brink of collapse. Jana, who has always been known for her calm and collected nature, has appeared more withdrawn and distant from her usual social media activity. Steven, on the other hand, has been seen less frequently in family gatherings, leading many to wonder whether they are indeed heading towards a separation. A pattern of pressure. The Duggar family is no stranger to the weight of public expectation. With their large family and conservative values, the Duggars have long been the subject of public scrutiny. Jana, in particular, has faced the pressure of being the oldest unmarried daughter for years. Her relationship with Steven was initially seen as a beacon of hope for fans who had been rooting for her to settle down. However, the constant attention on their personal lives may have taken its toll. It's no secret that growing up in the Duggar household comes with its own set of challenges. From the strict guidelines set by Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar to the overwhelming presence of cameras following the family's every move, it's understandable that the pressures of public life could strain even the strongest relationships. While Jana and Steven have yet to make an official announcement about their relationship status, the rumors continue to swirl. Fans are anxiously waiting for confirmation, but it seems that the couple is trying to handle the situation privately, a move that only adds to the mystery. Jessa Duggar's 7th baby, a new chapter in the Duggar family. While Jana's relationship struggles are causing heartbreak, there is a brighter side to the Duggar family story. Jessa Duggar, known for her own whirlwind life of motherhood and family, has officially announced that she is expecting her 7th child. The news has fans buzzing with excitement, as Jessa continues to embrace her role as a loving wife and mother. Jessa, who married Ben Seawald in 2014, has always been open about her love for having a large family. With the arrival of baby number 7, Jessa is once again proving that she is more than ready to expand her brood. Her announcement was met with excitement and congratulations from fans who have been following her journey for years. The growing Duggar family legacy. For the Duggar family, the arrival of a new baby is always a momentous occasion. Jessa's pregnancy marks another chapter in the family story as they continue to grow their legacy. With 6 children already at home, adding another little one to the mix will no doubt bring even more joy and chaos to the Seawald household. In her announcement, Jessa shared a heartfelt post on Instagram, expressing her gratitude and excitement for the upcoming arrival. She posted a picture of her growing baby bump, with her children gathered around her, beaming with joy. It was a touching moment for her followers, who have watched her family grow over the years. For Jessa, this pregnancy represents not just a new addition to her family, but also a continuation of the Duggar tradition. While her family may have faced public scrutiny in the past, Jessa has always been unapologetically herself, embracing her role as a mother with grace and love. With the news of baby number 7, fans are eager to see how her family will evolve and what challenges they will face in the coming months. The Duggar family, navigating public scrutiny and personal challenges. The Duggar family continues to navigate both personal and public challenges. It's clear that their lives are far from ordinary. Jana's relationship struggles and Jessa's growing family serve as a reminder that behind the cameras and the public appearances, the Duggar family is still just like any other family, dealing with their own set of struggles and triumphs. For Jana, the possibility of divorce marks a difficult chapter in her life. Having grown up in a family where marriage and family were always at the forefront, this situation may be particularly challenging for her. However, it's important to remember that the Duggars have always been a family that values personal growth, change, and redemption. Whether Jana and Steven's marriage survives or not, it's clear that both will have the support of their family as they move forward. Meanwhile, Jessa's announcement is a symbol of the joy and love that can come from building a family. Her decision to embrace motherhood once again is a testament to her strength and commitment to her family. For Jessa, this pregnancy is not just about adding another child to the family, but about creating a loving environment where her children can thrive and grow. As the Duggar family faces yet another round of public scrutiny and personal revelations, it's important to remember that they are more than just their headlines. Jana's relationship struggles and Jessa's growing family represent two very different sides of the Duggar experience, one filled with heartbreak and uncertainty, and the other brimming with joy and excitement. Regardless of the challenges they face, the Duggar family will continue to navigate their lives with resilience and love, showing their fans that, even in the toughest of times, family always comes first. Stay tuned for more updates on the Duggar family as we continue to follow their journey through the ups and downs of their lives. Duggar News: Jim Bob Duggar in horrific car accident. A family in danger in the public eye. For decades, the Duggar family has lived under the glare of reality TV cameras and the scrutiny of the public eye. Their lives have been filled with blessings, struggles, scandals, and triumphs. Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar, the patriarch and matriarch of the family, have raised 19 children, navigated controversies, and tried to maintain unity in the face of adversity. But nothing could have prepared them for the terrifying road incident that shook their family to its core. What was meant to be an ordinary day quickly spiraled into chaos, leaving Michelle Duggar in tears and the entire family shaken. This is the story of what unfolded on that fateful day and how the Duggar family faced one of their most frightening challenges. The morning that changed everything. It was an early autumn morning in Arkansas. Jim Bob Duggar had risen before dawn, as he often did, to take care of errands. He was known for his discipline and his sense of responsibility. On this day, he needed to meet a longtime friend for a property discussion. Jim Bob slipped into his Chevrolet SUV, the same vehicle that had carried him and Michelle on countless family road trips. He adjusted the rearview mirror, checked his phone for directions, and said a short prayer before pulling out of the driveway. The roads were slick from overnight rain, and the air was heavy with fog. Traffic was light, but visibility was poor. Jim Bob, cautious by nature, kept both hands firmly on the wheel. Home, Michelle Duggar was preparing breakfast for the younger children still living under their roof. She thought about her husband and whispered, "Lord, keep him safe." She had no idea how desperately that prayer would be needed. The incident. Just outside Fayetteville, Jim Bob's SUV approached a sharp curve on a two-lane highway. Normally, it was a manageable road, but the mix of fog and wet pavement created dangerous conditions. Jim Bob carefully steered through the curve. A pickup truck coming from the opposite direction suddenly lost control. The truck fishtailed, veering directly into Jim Bob's lane. Everything happened in seconds. Jim Bob slammed on his brakes and tried to swerve, but the slick road gave him little traction. The pickup clipped the front of his SUV, spinning both vehicles across the lanes. The sound of metal crunching against metal echoed through the fog. Glass shattered. Tires screeched. Then, silence. Jim Bob's vehicle slid off the road and came to rest in a shallow ditch. Smoke hissed from the hood. He was alive, but the world around him spun in chaos. His chest ached from the seatbelt's grip, and his hands trembled as he reached for his phone. The phone called. AT home. Michelle's phone rang. It was Jim Bob. Her heart sank instantly. He never called while driving unless something was wrong. She answered with a shaky voice. Jim Bob? Are you okay? All she could hear at first was heavy breathing. Then his voice came through, low and strained. Michelle? I've been in an accident. Michelle dropped the dish she was holding. Tears welled up in her eyes. Oh my goodness. Are you hurt? I'm shaken. The car's a mess. Another driver hit me. I don't know what's going on. Please pray. Michelle's voice cracked. I'm on my way. She quickly gathered a few older children, asking them to watch the little ones, and rushed out the door. Her heart pounded with fear, her mind replaying every possibility. What if this was the last time she would hear his voice? News spreads within the family. News of the accident traveled quickly through the Duggar family group chat. Jessa Duggar Seawald was the first to respond, sending a flurry of messages asking for updates. "Is Dad okay?" she wrote. Whereas he added Jana Duggar. "Oh no. Lord, please protect him," texted Jill Duggar Dillard, who despite past family tensions, felt a wave of concern. Even the sons, often less vocal in family chats, responded instantly. "We'll head that way," said John David Duggar, the trained pilot and first responder. For once, every disagreement and past wound melted away. They were simply a family, united by fear, prayer, and hoped. At the scene. When Michelle arrived, flashing lights lit up the foggy roadside. Police cars and an ambulance were already there. She rushed past the yellow tape, her voice desperate. "My husband, Jim Bob Duggar. Where is he?" An officer guided her to the ambulance, where Jim Bob was sitting on a stretcher, shaken but conscious. His forehead had a small cut, and his arm was bruised, but he was alive. The sight of him brought Michelle to tears. She clasped his hand, sobbing uncontrollably. "I thought I lost you," she whispered. Jim Bob, still in shock, managed a faint smile. "The Lord isn't done with me yet." Media frenzy. Within hours, the news broke online. Jim Bob Duggar involved in terrifying road accident. Headlines spread across social media, and speculation grew. Some fans sent prayers and well wishes. Others, critical of the Duggar family's past, responded with mixed emotions. But for the Duggars themselves, none of that mattered. What mattered was that Jim Bob was still alive. Michelle, however, couldn't escape the cameras. When she left the hospital that evening, reporters caught her wiping tears from her face. The photos of her crying soon went viral, igniting even more public attention, recovery, and reflection. Doctors confirmed that Jim Bob's injuries were not life-threatening, mostly bruises, whiplash, and shock. But emotionally, the incident left a deep mark. Back home, Michelle refused to leave his side. She stayed up through the night, making sure he was comfortable. Their children visited in shifts, each one grateful to still have their father. In a rare moment of vulnerability, Jim Bob admitted, "When that truck came toward me, I thought this might be it." Michelle broke down again, holding his hand tightly.
"Don't you say that."
God gave us more time together. Family unity. The accident brought the Duggar family closer than they had been in years. Old grudges softened. Jill called Michelle directly, something she hadn't done in months. Jinger sent flowers from Los Angeles. Even Josh, from afar, reached out with a letter expressing concern. For once, the Duggars weren't focused on television contracts, interviews, or public image. They were simply a family, shaken but grateful, gathering around their patriarch. They held a prayer night at the family home, inviting close friends and church members. Michelle led the prayer with tears streaming down her face. "Thank you, Lord, for sparing Jim Bob's life. Thank you for reminding us of what truly matters, life after the scare." And the weeks that followed, Jim Bob recovered slowly. He took fewer car trips, relying on his sons for transportation. Michelle, though still emotional at times, found peace and gratitude. The family released a short statement online. "We are grateful for God's protection over Jim Bob in a serious car accident. Though shaken, he is recovering at home with family by his side. We appreciate your prayers. Behind closed doors, however, the incident remained a sobering reminder of life's fragility. The children checked in more often, and Michelle found herself cherishing even the smallest moments: family dinners, laughter, shared prayers to second chance. Jim Bob often said he believed God gives second chances for a reason. Sitting on the porch weeks after the accident, with Michelle beside him, he reflected aloud, maybe the Jill Duggar's wedding to her new boyfriend Ben Sewell's secrets revealed as strain builds over Duggar legacy and family expectations. When the world first met the Duggar family through 19 kids and counting, the show wasn't just about everyday life in a household with nearly 24 children. It was about faith, discipline, and a carefully constructed public image. Millions tuned in to see Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar raise their children under a strict code of modesty, obedience, and unwavering Christian values. But as with many reality TV families, what appeared on screen was only part of the story. Off-camera, cracks began to form. Some children started questioning the rules, others felt suffocated by expectations, and scandals surrounding Josh Duggar began to unravel the Duggar brand. At the center of this storm stands Jill Duggar Dillard, once a dutiful daughter, now a woman battling heartbreak, strained family ties, and the constant pressure of being a Duggar in a world that demands perfection. And when we bring in the struggles of her sister Jessa and her husband Ben, the picture grows even darker. This is the emotional, complicated, and shocking story of Jill's heartbreak with Derek, the Duggar family's divisions, and the quiet pain of Ben and Jessa. Jill and Derek, the love story that wasn't so simple. At first, Jill and Derek Dillard seemed like the perfect match. They met through missionary work, and their courtship was presented as wholesome and God-centered. Their wedding was televised, their first child was celebrated on TV, and the couple was positioned as a shining example of Duggar values. But almost immediately after the cameras stopped rolling, reality set in: financial struggles. Derek struggled to find stable work. His attempts at missionary work often left the family dependent on donations and financial support, which created criticism and even ridicule online. Isolation. Jill was torn between loyalty to her husband and the control of her parents, who had always dictated the lives of their children. Choosing Derek meant stepping away from the Duggar machine, and Jill knew it would cost her. Emotional strain. The couple faced stress from raising children without consistent income, moving frequently, and the heavy weight of public scrutiny. Derek grew increasingly vocal about the Duggar family's hypocrisy. He accused Jim Bob of hoarding profits from the show, claimed Jill was denied compensation for years of filming, and suggested darker control mechanisms behind the scenes. For Jill, this wasn't just about money, it was about identity. Could she remain the loyal Duggar daughter and still stand by her husband? Heartbreak behind closed doors. Sources close to Jill have spoken about how hard this has been on her emotionally. Imagine growing up in a home where obedience was everything, then marrying a man who constantly pushes you to stand up against that very system. It's not just a marital struggle, it's a spiritual and psychological war inside Jill's heart. She has admitted in interviews that setting boundaries with her family caused tears, arguments, and breakdowns. She has revealed needing therapy to cope with years of trauma from her upbringing and the fallout with her parents. At one point, she admitted she wasn't even allowed to visit her family's home unless Jim Bob gave explicit permission. For a woman raised to believe family was sacred, being cut off was devastating. Jill's marriage to Derek hasn't been without love, but it has been full of pain, sacrifice, and loss. The book that shook the family. Jill's memoir, Counting the Cost, was the ultimate act of rebellion against Duggar silence. In it, she described exploitation on the show. Jill claimed she never saw a dime for years of filming, the strict contract. She revealed she was pressured to sign agreements she barely understood. The manipulation. Jim Bob allegedly used faith and fear to keep control over his children's lives and money. Derek stood by her, encouraging her to speak her truth, but this only deepened the rift with the family. For Jill, writing the book was healing. For Jim Bob and Michelle, it was betrayal. Ben and Jessa's struggles. While Jill and Derek were fighting their battles openly, Ben and Jessa Seawald were fighting quieter, but equally painful wars. Jessa was once the darling of the Duggar daughters, beautiful, outspoken, and seemingly happy in her marriage to Ben. But cracks began to show. Financial stress. Like Derek, Ben never found a traditional career. The couple has relied heavily on social media income, sponsorships, and sometimes support from the family. Parenting challenges. With multiple children and a smaller home, Jessa has faced criticism for everything from messy houses to parenting choices, miscarriages, and grief. Jessa bravely shared her experiences with pregnancy loss, opening up about the pain that so many women face silently. But behind the courage was undeniable sorrow. And Ben himself? Many Duggar watchers describe him as struggling under the weight of responsibility. Married young, father of several kids, and thrust into a high-pressure environment, Ben has appeared tired, overwhelmed, and sometimes checked out. Unlike Derek, Ben hasn't openly fought Jim Bob. But his quiet compliance hasn't made life easier. The tension of trying to live up to Duggar's standards while barely keeping afloat has put a visible strain on his marriage. Jill versus Jessa. Sisters on different paths, though they were once inseparable, Jill and Jessa's relationship has been tested by their different choices. Jill stepped away, wrote a book, and confronted the family system head-on. Jessa stayed closer, defended her parents more, and tried to maintain balance. This difference has created distance. While not publicly feuding, the sisters no longer appear as united as they once were. Fans who remember their close bond during 19 Kids and counting now wonder if they can ever heal that divide. The Duggar family silence point. One of the most chilling aspects of all this drama is the Duggar family silence. Jim Bob and Michelle rarely respond directly to criticism. Instead, they continue presenting a picture-perfect Christian image, posting Bible verses, family updates, and smiling photos. But behind the smiles, it's clear. Jill is out, Jessa is torn, Ben is struggling, Derek is furious, and the once unbreakable Duggar empire is now a fractured family, splintered by secrets, scandals, and heartbreak. Why this story matters? This isn't just about one family. It's about the cost of extreme control, the dangers of living life for public approval, and the quiet ways heartbreak destroys people who can't live up to impossible standards. Jill's tears, Derek's anger, Jessa's struggles, and Ben's exhaustion represent something bigger. The fight to find freedom, love, and authenticity in a world that demanded perfection. Conclusion: the future of Jill, Derek, Ben, and Jessa. Where do things go from here for Jill and Derek? They've found healing in therapy, faith on their own terms, and the strength to speak out. But the heartbreak of being estranged from family lingers for Jessa and Ben. Their marriage will continue to face challenges. Whether they confront the Duggar legacy or try to remain silent, the struggle is real. For the Duggar family, the empire has cracked, and the public no longer sees them as untouchable. The scandals, the heartbreaks, and the divisions are too visible, and for fans,